I had an opportunity in my life to meet a lot of people, actors, celebrities, and yes, gangsters. Growing up in Brooklyn and also Staten Island, you have the opportunities from time to time to run into wise guys. So I'm going to actually let the ape wife tell this story because if it wasn't for the ape wife, I never would have had the opportunity to meet Sammy the Bull Gravano. Okay, so tell them a little bit about it. I'm not putting your
All
face in the
right.
video.
This was years ago. But anyway, I had a friend, more like an acquaintance, like a friend through a friend, and they invited us over. And we were outside, and their neighbor was outside. And, he said hello to, the person we were friends with. And then they
Well,
introduced
when you
us.
say they said hello, that's Sammy.
Yeah.
Sammy the Bull
Well, but
Gravano
I'm
said
gonna,
hello.
yeah. So I'm gonna get into that.
Good.
So he was a small guy. He had glasses. Didn't look. He looked like your everyday guy. So very very quiet. Not loud. Just said hello. How are you? Blah blah blah. We go back in the house, and then the person that we were friends with said, "Do you know who that was that we just spoke to?" And we're like, "No." And they were like, "That's Sammy the Bull." Gravano, and we were like, "What?" And they were like, "Yeah, we're next door neighbors. Like, he lives next door." And we couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe it because I mean, this guy did not look like a killer. He didn't look like he was in the mafia. He was just this small guy, kind of looked like a little nerdy. I hate to say it, but he did not look anything threatening or anything. It was just really, it was crazy.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to say that, like, I sat down with the guy and, like, we were talking, like, what I mean? We were talking about the mafia life, but I had a quick opportunity to introduce, say hello. Listen, I met Tommy Gambino. We were in the China Club, and my friend John, this is my buddy in Brooklyn who, let's just say, doesn't do things completely illegal all the time, but he has a lot of connections, and he always wanted this life for the Ape Father. He always wanted me to be, with him. And the bottom line is this: I chose not to do it. I could have made a lot of money, on the street. I could have did a lot of things where I could have risked, of course, my freedom because my buddy went to Rikers a couple of times, and let's just say if he goes again, they could throw away the key. You know what I mean? So for me, it wasn't worth it to go into that life. I had the opportunity to go into that life, but this was one thing that I scared my friend. So we're in the China Club, and Tommy Gambino comes up to me, and he shook my hand because he knew my friend John. And for some reason, I was drinking a lot. I was drinking bottles of DP. I don't know what I maybe I was drunk. I don't know. So I said to Tommy Gambino, I said, "Listen, I said I heard very good things about you." Now my friend John's jaw dropped when I said this. Like with Sammy the Bull, it was just very casual conversation. Like nothing was said. It was just kind of like, "Hey, how you doing? My name's Rich. Blah blah blah. We're friends with. Oh yeah, we're friends with the neighbor. Blah blah blah." It was very very just simple conversation. But with Tommy Gambino, I actually said, "I heard good things about you." So Tommy goes to my friend John, and he was just like, "Yo, man, what's up with your friend over there? What family is he with?" Because I came across like I was a wise guy, and my friend was just like, he had to kind of play it off because like you just don't talk that way. And he came up to me, my friend John, at the end of the night. He's like, "You effing out of your mind? Are you nuts? Saying you heard good things? What are you nuts?" Like he freaked out over it. I'll give you another story. I really should have mentioned names. Um, we sat down one time. Let's just say we were owed money. I'm not going to get specific. You think it's wrong that I'm mentioning names? I probably shouldn't be mentioning names, but it's true, right? Anyway, um, we let's just put it this way: we were working at Wall Street, okay, and let's just say there was a guy that was a really well known guy. I don't want to get too specific, but we were owed money by a certain family. And long story short, I was sitting down. We had a sit down, and I started snapping out. I was like, I want my money. And next thing you know, the guy I'm talking to is one of the assassins for the Gambino family. And I was like, I was freaking out. I was angry. So anyway, my friend John's jaw almost dropped. There was another guy named Crazy Larry. He was a wise guy in 11th Avenue, and he knew me as Naked Richie. This is a guy. He went to jail because he used to, let's just say, this guy would take people, tie them up, throw them in the trunk of his car, and he would drive, to other states to deliver this guy somewhere. He was more afraid of me, this guy, than I was of him. He used to see me. They called me Naked Rich. I'd take my clothes off, and he would tell my friend Johnny, he would say, "Get this effing guy away from me. This guy's nuts." So here's a guy that was literally a wise guy. I'll tell you another story. I met Jimmy Whispers from Bronxdale, and we went out, and Jimmy Whispers, took me to Robert De Niro's restaurant and Tribeca Grill. He told me, "Look, Rich," he goes, "don't order nothing." He says, "Nothing. It's all on the arm." He goes, "Wise guys, we don't pay. We don't pay nothing." But that guy turned out to be a lunatic. He goes, at the end of the night, after we got the bill, he told me to pay it. I'm like, "You just told me not to pay the damn bill." And then he said, "Leave a C note, leave $100 tip." I said, "I went from, you went from telling me not to pay the bill to paying the bill, leaving a C note." But anyway, that guy just turned out to be, I don't know. Seemed like he was just using me, for money. He it was my daughter's birthday party, so I invited him to we were gonna have it at Goodfellas in Staten Island, and at the last minute I changed it, and we ended up going to the Roadhouse because the guy was just trying to like hustle me. I felt like he was hustling me. He's like, "Look, Rich, I got this girl. Listen, you want to do this party the right way. You understand?" He said to me, I gotta go professional photographer. You pay her 5,000. These pictures are gonna come out like friggin' beautiful. You understand what I'm saying to you? Like $5,000. I'm like, that's more money I'm gonna spend on the whole party, So I just basically told him in a nice way. I said, "You know what? This guy's name was Clem. I was just like, Clem, just let's just like call it quits, man." I felt like he was hustling me. What are you gonna do? But anyway, I met a lot of wise guys. When you grow up in Brooklyn, you grow up in Staten Island, you run across them.